Hello everybody, this is Alex, and in this video I'm going to be showing you a very simple and very important tool, especially when it comes to understanding the other tools that I use, and that is the entry and exit calculator. Now this is something that I originally built to just help me book my trades, so to copy my entries and exits from my broker screen, put them in here, and then get the averages that I would then plug into my trade log. However, since then, it's developed into a little bit of an analytical tool and after-the-fact trade review tool. But I'll get into exactly how I use this, not only later in this video, but in other videos as well. So mainly for this one, what we're going to be looking at is just the functionality of the calculator itself. So as always with my calculators, the colored title signifies that there's an input, and so this section and this section are the inputs. Everything else on the screen is going to be auto-filled by the formulas, which take your inputs and then produce numbers. So what I'm going to do for maximum demonstration, instead of just cutting to where I have this all filled out, I'm going to do it while recording so that you'll be able to see. And what I'm going to simulate here is a trade where I'm loading up to a 1,000 share position, trying to catch a very big move, like hit a home run. And I'm going to simulate a bit of a failure. So we'll go with a starter position of 500 shares, entry 201, commissions $5, and then let's say I added a half position at 221. Once again, commission $5. And then I'm adding once again over the break of 250. Let's say I catch 252. And now for the exits, we'll suppose I started stopping out around 219, and then I stopped out of the rest once it broke down below $2. Now, before we get into the outputs that this calculator is giving us, I just want to really make sure that everybody understands that this information would normally just be copied from a broker. I wouldn't be just thinking of it and putting it in. It's only for the sake of this example that I have brainstormed a trade and just decided the entries and exits by myself. Normally, this would be just copied number for number from your trades window. But getting back to the example, we can see at the top here, we've got a total of 9 outputs that have been spat out by the formulas plugged into this calculator. And they did that with just the inputs that I have put in here and here. And so what we get is a very concise summary of this trade. We get the total position size, the value of the position, average entry and exit, the gross P&L per share, the gross P&L, the commissions, the net P&L, and most importantly, in my opinion, the net ROI. So now you may be wondering, well, why didn't you just do all that manually? Why do you have to have this calculator? And it's mainly for 2 reasons. The first is saving time, because doing all this math in my head or with a calculator would take significantly longer than it did in just typing in these inputs. And the second and more important reason is that it keeps me from making arithmetic mistakes. If I were to, let's say, take out my calculator and let's say I was just trying to calculate the position of this entry right here, the value of this entry right here. So all I would need to do for that is 500 times 201. But let's say I don't know, my finger slipped and I put a 3 in there by accident. Now it's giving me, even though it's a subtle difference, it is giving me the wrong answer. And when you're tired, sometimes at the end of the day, you might make these mistakes and you don't want to, because that'll be a mistake that you almost certainly will never catch. And if you don't catch the mistake here, you probably never will. At least for those of you who are using my trade log that I've shared on here, if you're using that trade log is not equipped to catch those mistakes. And in fact, neither are any of the professional services either. If you were to just copy and paste something into them, they're not going to be able to catch these mistakes. So yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to show you here is just the calculator, and to let you know that this will be showing up multiple times in future videos. So this is something that you probably want to understand at least how it works or how I'm using it. And if you want to use it yourself, check the description. There is going to be a link to a Google Drive page where you can download this and use it for yourself. So I really hope you found that helpful, guys. And as always, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below and I will gladly answer them.